Hey everybody, and welcome back to FSI DFS. I'm McKinley 412. Today we're looking at this 9-game main slate, the second slate on DraftKings for Wednesday. Pretty solid slate. We got two stud pitchers up at the top with Verlander and Alcantara, but we do have a bit of rain kind of affecting kind of the pitchers that we want to be targeting here. Verlander's fine. But the Miami-Philly game and the Toronto-Baltimore games have some rain concerns, especially the Toronto-Baltimore game. That one's looking the roughest, but that affects Alcantara, it affects Syndergaard and Berrios, and those are three pitchers that I have ranked pretty up high on the tier list here today. So we'll just kind of go through. We'll just talk about the bats. We'll talk about our favorite pitchers and go on from there. So Verlander up at the top, going up against Texas. This guy is an ageless wonder at this point. He is just the safest safe guy ever. Just a consistent floor of 25 or more DK points. It's just crazy what he's been able to do. The strikeouts, they went down back-to-back starts there, but he's got Texas. I expect the strikeouts to kind of be back a little bit more in this game. He goes deep into games. He doesn't allow earned runs. 10.5K. He's my favorite pitcher on the slate, best in the tie tier, all that. Alcantara, I have him ranked right below Verlander. It's really nothing against Alcantara. This guy is just an absolute stud. He goes super deep into games. He had that complete game last time out. So he's got a great floor as well. It's just, it's Philadelphia. He's playing in that small ballpark. There is some rain concern, so maybe there's like a weird delay in the middle of the game. So that's my only hesitation with him there. I think he's fantastic. There is a way to get Alcantara and blanking. Who's the top pitcher there? Verlander. Holy cow. Verlander and Alcantara. There is a way to jam both of these guys in with a pretty healthy offensive stack in Coors. So 3.6K remaining, even with these two guys, I think it's entirely possible. We'll talk about that in a little bit after this. Pepio for the Dodgers. This guy's got nice strikeout stuff, all things considered. He doesn't go super deep in the games. You can see his pitch count here is kind of just stagnant at like 85 pitches. And at 10.3K, if I'm only going to get like 85 pitches, he's not going to go super deep into the game. I'd rather just pay the extra $200 to get Alcantara or to get Verlander especially, but totally fine if you do want to go with him in like a GPP category. Kyle Wright, he's been struggling just a little bit, not a whole lot, just a little bit. But he's allowing a lot of hits. The walks are kind of going up there, but just mainly a lot of home runs as of late. You can just kind of see how many home runs he's allowed on his past couple of starts. So going up against Baltimore, Fenway Park, and really the main thing against Kyle Wright, you see I have him kind of ranked all the way at the bottom of these top guys, even below Johnny Cueto, is that he's nearly 10K. That price is just a little bit too high. He's just only a couple hundred behind Verlander and behind Alcantara. I'd much rather go with those guys who are much safer plays and who are in fine matchups as well. Johnny Cueto, right above, I have right above Wright. And this is mainly for an 800 salary saving discount that you get with him, and also just a better matchup going up against Kansas City. Am I excited about it? Absolutely not. Am I going to play Cueto in my, cash or even my initial GPP? No, I'm not. He's pretty far down on the list, in my opinion, as far as like pitchers on the entire slate go. So I don't have too much interest here, but I do have a little bit more interest in him than I would with Kyle Wright. Over into the mid tier. Speaking of risky plays, Sonny Gray. I mean, he's just super risky. He's kind of like a boomer bust kind of guy. Real tough matchup against the Dodgers, so that could really go south in a hurry. Then we get into the mid tier, into this like 7.3 to 8.3K range. Noah Syndergaard, he's my favorite pitcher in this tier. He had that initial start against Washington, his first start with Philadelphia. Didn't go so well. I remember we were really high on him, and things just didn't add up. So whatever it was, new team, new whatever, he just didn't do too well. But now he's got another start going up against Miami. Miami can strike out. I'm not super scared of their offense by any means. So I think Syndergaard, if he can get back to his ways, 7.9K is a nice price tag for him. But again, check out the rain for this game because we don't want that, third, fourth inning delay to happen and him to get pulled. So just pay attention to that. Below Syndergaard is Berrios. This is another rain game. You kind of see how the rain's going to be impacting a lot of these pitchers that we like. Berrios, just wow, what a disaster his last time out against Minnesota. But he's got Baltimore now. Baltimore, a weaker team for sure. Berrios is just kind of like, seems like he's just like walking through mud this whole season. He does well, and then all of a sudden he just slows right back down. And then he has that upside game, and then he just kind of like crawls back to just like, ugh, what a terrible start. But we see his salary at 7.3K. I think this actually, yes. Oh, no, I guess he was lower at the end of April. But this is one of the lowest salaries that we've seen of him as of late. Going up against Baltimore, I think he's a fantastic play, especially with the ceiling upside. And he's got the strikeouts. They're certainly there. So I do like Berrios, but again, this is a rain game. There's some serious concern, and this is the game that has the most concern with it. After Syndergaard and Berrios, Pivetta is really the only other guy I would be targeting. I don't have any interest in Quintana, any of the Coors Field pitchers. But Pivetta going up against Atlanta. We know that Atlanta can't strike out. They're an elite offense, though, so this is kind of a GPP play at best. 8.3K is a little bit high for him. Just because he has struggled quite mightily as of late. He's kind of like Kyle Wright in that he's just allowing a lot of hits. His whip is super high as of late. So maybe you take, if you're a betting guy, you go with the over in that game, Atlanta and Boston, just because you got two pitchers that, they're fairly decent. Combined, Wright's obviously the better pitcher. But they're just both kind of in a funk, both allowing a lot of hits, allowing a lot of runs, home runs in Kyle Wright's case. So maybe the over hits now. All right, so that's kind of the mid tier, and then we go to the super cheap tier. Favorite play down here. I know he's coming off the IL. I don't really like guys coming off the IL, but it's still a righty going up against Detroit, who has shown that he is capable of pitching in the major leagues, and he's only 6.5K. You can see he's got a couple of starts here as of late where he's got 6 to 7 strikeouts. He had an 8 strikeout game earlier on in the season, so he can have those higher strikeout games. Detroit just can't hit righties for the life of them. So 6.5K, even if he's only going to get you, 80, 85, 90 pitches, if he can get to 5-6 innings at 6.5K and get you, 15, 16 DK points, he's going to be paying off his salary. So I do like Savali down here in that lower tier. Below Savali, I got Bumgarner, Keller, and then Bubic. Bumgarner ranks second, mainly because he's just going up against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is just not a great offense. Especially, a lot of the Pittsburgh, great guys are lefties. So Bumgarner, am I excited about it? No, not really. But yeah, so it's probably kind of like the main guy in the cheap tier that I'd be targeting. But Bumgarner, Keller against Arizona. Keller's had some nice games as of late. And then Bubic going up against the White Sox. Sorry, that's my phone. Lefties against the White Sox. Hate playing them. But this guy is near min price. He has performed very well as of late. The White Sox, man, they just cannot seem to get it all together offensively. And I want to say Bubic is a reverse splits pitcher. I'll double check that for me, but I do want to say he's a reverse splits pitcher. So lefty, perfect. It's just kind of like a GPP only play at this, but I mean, I just listed a lot of things. He's near min price. He's pitched very well as of late. He's going up against the White Sox, who just cannot seem to get it all together offensively. They have some injuries to their lineup. Reverse splits pitcher. Who knows? Who knows what can happen there? Those are kind of the pitchers. I'm not playing Quintana, Kramer, Freeland, Otto, or Hutchinson. No interest in any of those guys. So going to the bats, top team is going to be St. Louis, playing in Coors Field. They got absolutely mutilated in their first game, but this is the second game now. So the higher salaries, obviously, Goldschmidt, he's going to be extremely popular at 6.2K. Arenado at 5.2K, O'Neill 4.8. I mean, those are like your top 3 guys that you would be targeting for sure. But there is a guy down here. I don't know if you know him, Albert Pujols, min price at 2K. This could be a great GPP pivot for you if you want to get off of the Goldschmidt chalk. So it kind of stinks that they're both first base eligible, but 2K blanked out there. Wow. 2K Goldschmidt is 6.2K. But throw Pujols in there, throw Arenado, and throw O'Neill. We'll keep an eye on hitting the big guys. Then maybe you go with a guy like Carlson in the outfield at 4K. I mean, this is with a Verlander and Alcantara stack, and you're still looking at 3.3K remaining for the remainder of your bats. There's a lot of value out there. It's a 9-game slate, pretty decent size, so we do have quite a bit of value amongst a lot of the teams. So I think this could be a great start to especially even like a cash build. Just going with 2 pitchers that you know are just absolute studs. But again, check the rain in Philadelphia with this Alcantara. That's my main risk with Alcantara in this game. But St. Louis is going to be your top dog for sure, absolutely. After St. Louis, I got Toronto. Toronto is going to be going up in another rain game, going up against Kramer, who has, he's been fine. I just like the reduced prices that Toronto's kind of been getting over the past month or so. We just kind of seen their salaries just kind of decrease ever so slightly. Teoscar Hernandez, 4.6K. He's now the 3rd most expensive. Chapman, 4.8. Man, Chapman disappoints me so many times. He's just one guy just can never seem to get right. But 4.8, don't mind him at all. Bichette, 4.5. Kirk, 4.4. You guys can read. You can see us all. But they're going to have some cheaper guys in their lineup for sure again tonight. Maybe even have some guys in the 2K range that I would definitely have some interest in. So if you want to go with Toronto, again, if I really had to guess, I don't think this game plays. But that's just my 9 a.m. guess. I just don't think it's going to play. I think it's going to postpone. Atlanta and Houston, they're kind of interchangeable. I really couldn't decide about which of these two, so I put Atlanta ahead of Houston alphabetically. That was really it. But Atlanta and Houston, I think, are both in fine spots. Atlanta's going up against Pivetta. I already talked about how Pivetta's really been struggling. He's been allowing a lot of hits. He's been allowing a lot of hard contact. And, this Atlanta team, they are good, in case you don't know. And their salaries have kind of been reduced quite a bit here. Acuna, he's below 5K. That's pretty nice to see. Olsen at 4.8. Obviously, you could, there's going to be a lot of first base choices. It's going to be Olsen and Pujols and Goldschmidt, Vlad Guerrero, Gurriel if he's in, for Houston. It's going to be a lot of guys in this first base range that you could be going. Yeah, Atlanta, they're seeing some reduced prices. Only one guy above 5K. I think this might be one of the cheaper days that Atlanta has been over the course of the season, just as like a team. Only have one guy above 5K. It's pretty nice. So I do like Atlanta there. But Houston, I still think Houston might be my favorite. Or Houston my favorite over Atlanta. I think so, the more I'm talking about it. But they got some fantastic guys. Mancini, another first base eligible guy who you can go for. But even in the outfield, 3.4K. This guy's been doing fantastic. We were on him a couple days ago when he had that double home run game, and he just, we got him at like super crazy low ownership, 34 DK points there. But I think 3.4K is just far too cheap for him. So throwing in Mancini, and then it's your usual guys. Your Donnie Alvarez, lefty righty matchup, 5.9K. Don't mind that at all. Tucker at only 4.4. That is very intriguing to me. So you can go with Tucker there. But then you can kind of see if you do a Houston, St. Louis stack, your outfield gets very filled up very quickly. So, but I do love Houston. I think they're another top option on the slate, especially if like Toronto gets rained out. They were probably my 2nd favorite team, just right behind St. Louis. Dodgers, who are the Dodgers going against? I forget. So many teams. I forget it all. Let me scroll on over. Oh, going up against Minnesota, going up against Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray, like I said, boomer bust kind of guy. You can even throw Dodgers more into like a GPP category just because Gray has been able to shut teams down. And he does have that talent, but he also has a very low floor at times. So don't mind the Dodgers even as like a top GPP play, especially given their price tags. It's going to be tough to kind of fit them in, especially if you do want to pay up for Verlander and Alcantara. But again, you can go for like a cheaper pitcher. You can go down to a guy like Savali, and I think that would be just fine. GPP, we got Colorado. We know what Colorado does. We know what they can do in Coors Field. So don't mind them there. Boston, I already talked about Kyle Wright for Atlanta. He's, allowed a lot of home runs as of late. He's allowed a lot of hits as of late. So if, Boston can get on the base pass, they can certainly hit some balls out of the park in Fenway with how Kyle Wright's been allowing the ball to leave the park. And, they're fairly cheap, all things considered. So, JD Martinez 4.1, Duran 3K, always a fan of Duran. He seems to just be outperforming his salary night in and night out. So don't mind him there. Devers, you get your lefty righty at 5.7. He's perfectly fine there. He could be like a Devers or Arenado decision from there. But I don't mind Boston. Chicago White Sox, GPP a little bit lower down, again, because I think Keller is a lefty-lefty, a reverse splits pitcher. Chicago White Sox, they always seem to let us down. But again, I mean, it is the White Sox going up against the lefty. Who knows? Like, this is their smash spot. This is what they can do. Cleveland from Minnesota finishing off the GPP. And then G plays, you can find a lot of guys in Baltimore, Miami, but I mean, it's just a lot of rain issues. Miami, Mega Roller put in stolen base upside here just because they are going up against Noah Syndergaard. Syndergaard, he just allows a lot of running on the base paths. It's kind of like what he's known for. So Miami, certainly some stolen base upside there. They do have some cheap guys. De La Cruz, I think he's the guy sticking out in my mind. Who's that cheap play who could be batting in the middle of the order? Yeah, De La Cruz, 2K. I mean, he doesn't hit very well. He's not going to be breaking a slate, I don't think. But if you're looking for some more value, he could be a guy that you go to. And then Arizona, don't mind them going up against Pittsburgh. I think he's just fine. So that's kind of the slate for today. I think it's very possible to just jam in Verlander, jam in Alcantara, especially in cash games if the rain looks good in Philadelphia, and put it in a St. Louis stack and just kind of like fill in from there. There's not really any issues, or it's not really too difficult to find a path that way. As for GPPs, it's going to be getting off the Coors chalk, obviously. So maybe, you get off of Alcantara, you go down to a cheaper play like Savali for Cleveland in pitcher, and then you pay up in bats a little bit more to a team like the Dodgers going up against Sonny Gray, who can absolutely blow up at times. So I think that's kind of where the GPP route's going, just kind of filling in from there. But yeah, so that's the slate. Thanks for watching. As always, good luck in your contest, and we'll see you in the next video.